As I get older, I'm coming to think that life can just really be broken down into a collection of moments. And how you interpret each moment, the people you choose to spend each moment with, and the moments you choose to experience more often than, say, another, is ultimately what makes a life uniquely yours. But there are a handful of moments that seem so necessary, so timely, so important, that you almost have to stop and seriously wonder, could I have possibly led myself to this? Or am I meant to be here for a reason outside of my choosing? I got this feeling within hours of landing in Bangkok when I took this photo. This is the story of the woman and the railroad.
You know how everyone's always saying, seize the moment? I don't know, I'm kind of thinking it's the other way around. You know, like, the moment seizes us.
Yeah, I know, it's constant. The moments, it's like it's always right now, you know?
Yeah.
Day 2. Landed in Bangkok. It's my first time ever in Asia, I think, as my foot touches the boardwalk. 33 hours of travel by air on a cold night in a Shanghai airport chair. Sleep at this point just doesn't seem fair. I've come way too far to take care of my body. I'm here to learn to prepare. Besides, the city is bustling out there, and it's like this endless Times Square. Faces, sounds, and smells whirl past. Naive to everything around me, I feel like a total outcast. A couple of hours pass, and at last I reach a clearing. A still tree in a golden lit scene, the rush finally replaced by the serene. I see birds are dispersed by a train whose home is this railroad more than their own. As it passes, I see something strange. It's some type of floating bag and at a pretty close range. I run towards it and I see it supported by 2 frail legs. Reaching out to offer a hand, the sack slips off a dangerously hunched back, revealing a face. Old but strikingly wise, humbling and totally beautiful. It's one of those faces that almost makes you feel comfortable. Probably just this golden light, I think to myself. It can't be that memorable. No, a deeper look and I'm shook. This is one of the most intriguing faces I've ever seen. The only thing to break my freeze is the universe's poke that it's probably not okay to stop and stare at townsfolk. And this was the first sign that things were about to get weird. I don't know, I felt like I was gonna remember this moment. She was so unfazed by me just staring at her, as if it had happened before. So she looks at my camera hanging on my shoulder. I stand still in awe of how she is the holder. How could a 4'5" frame possibly bear this much weight, let alone in 95-degree heat? But I catch her glance and make no hesitation. A face in this light is like a photographer's ultimate fascination. So I reach for it, miming the classic motion, "Would you like your picture taken?" She smiles at me. She straightens her back and she looks up and she just looks ready. I get a feeling that this could be one of my best photos ever. Something I feel once or twice every 5,000 pushes to the lever. No time to be clever, just get to the center and forget the pressure. The shutter slaps the mirror a couple of times. Overexposed. Fumbling, I take 2 steps to my right, putting her in the middle of the railroad, turning the dial from 5.6 to 2.0, shoving my face in the rubber to reduce the shadow. 3 long seconds pass. This was different. It was like her eyes weren't looking into the lens. It was like they were looking through it into my eyes. And it was like, it sounds ridiculous, but I turned the camera slowly, anxious for her thoughts, anxious I had stopped her for nothing. And she looks into this camera screen, and I hear the bag thud, and I watch her hand go to cover her mouth. Her calm face becomes strained, and my hand starts to shake as I watched her eyes well up with tears. She looks up with swift boldness. Her damp eyes dart back and forth, surveying mine. And I stared back. Without the slightest trace of awkwardness, we hug like old friends saying goodbye. She looks up at the sky, picks up the bag, and continues across the track. And I'm left to ponder the most mutually sincere thank you I've ever been a part of within 3 hours of starting this trip with a backpack.